that's super hyper local. It's Chef Kristin. She's an award-winning chef. And you know what? As a mom, she's dealing with the same things all of us are dealing with. You know, because right now the restaurant's closed. There's no one here. And all of you know why. However, they are open in the evenings from 5 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday. And what, as you all know from, if you watched yesterday's video, I was at home this weekend cooking. I haven't cooked in like 10 years, but I was cooking. And I thought, well, you know, there's a lot of other mothers out there that are having to cook too right now. I mean, you are for your 2 kids, right?
Right.
And so the idea was, how can we go find things that are already in people's cabinets or pantries that they could quickly pull out and make a meal that with things that they already have. So we want to just give them ideas and at the same time highlight your restaurant. And so, Chef Kristin, tell us what you pulled out of your pantry to cook.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for coming here. Thank you to Kristin Cole. They're not getting much out of this, right? But yet they're here helping local businesses. So thank you very much.
Well, Kristin,
we love you, Kristin.
We do. And as you know, Kristi's my business partner, and so we're thrilled to be here. You know, honestly, we just had this idea that why not highlight businesses right now that are struggling and tell, you know, Facebook world, all of our, you know, local community how they can support you. So tell us what you whipped together.
Okay, so I'm from the Midwest, so I grew up with casseroles and cooking. Though I do have some formal training from UAA, cooking kind of stresses me out. So I tend to do casseroles because then I can kind of get everything ready, throw it in the oven, and it's all ready at the same time. If I have to plan out a time of a meal, it's not good for me. So I decided to do shepherd's pie, which is a very classic casserole. I tend to always have potatoes. I tend to have meat in the freezer, vegetables, either frozen or canned, sometimes fresh, not so much in my house, but at the restaurant we always have fresh vegetables, and then cheese. Those are kind of staples around our house. So I decided that I would do a 5-ingredient or less, which you can see I have 4. Mashed potatoes, the Grape Tap, we're kind of known for our orangey potatoes, and I won't tell you our secret on that, but you can use whatever you want. One day at home I didn't have enough potatoes really to make mashed potatoes, so I actually just sliced them, boiled them for a few minutes, and then put those on the bottom and made like a little bottom layer of potatoes, loaded up some meat, cheese, vegetables, and kind of made a makeshift shepherd's pie with what I had on hand. So potatoes you can also use, well, I mean, you can use potatoes, obviously, any type of potato, and then half and half, heavy cream, sour cream, butter. People put ranch in theirs. So whatever you have to kind of make your mashed potatoes.
Well, I'm glad you give them alternatives for some of the ingredients, because sometimes you don't have half and half. Sometimes you don't have ranch. So it's good to know what those substitutes are.
Yeah. And then if you want to add more flavor, you can put something else in it. I don't know. Ranch would be one thing. My sister used to put ranch in hers. So, and then vegetables. So today, oh, sorry, did you get the potatoes?
Thank you.
There you go. And you just put a little layer in the bottom because of the fat that I've had in there with the butter. I don't need to spray the pan for any reason. And then vegetables. So today at Grape Tap we had leeks, broccoli, carrots, mushrooms, cauliflower. So I boiled the carrots, and then I threw in the cauliflower, the broccoli, and then at the very last minute threw in the leeks. So you do want to use semi-cooked. They don't have to be cooked all the way through, but if you use frozen, you want to go ahead and put those in some boiling water for a few minutes so they're not cold going in, or excuse me, not frozen going in. You could use canned. When we used to go to the cabin, we used to take canned vegetables, and so we would throw this together when we first got there. We'd have a nice hot meal while the cabin was warming up. So then you just do a layer of your vegetables. And if you really like cheese, you could throw some
Well, my
cheese
family's
in
the
here.
king of cheese, so
As
they
are
love
we,
cheese.
so I always put cheese throughout it, just just for fun. And some people also put, you could spice your vegetables. I didn't, but what I did do is I spiced chicken. So I went ahead and used a blackening seasoning. I cooked the chicken ahead of time, cut it, and I added some bacon because we love bacon at Grape Tap.
Yes, we do.
So,
Kristin, would you be able to use like cauliflower if someone didn't want to use potato? Have you ever tried that?
I haven't tried it with this, but of course you could, because you make it just like you would your mashed potatoes, right? Because the cauliflower, and then I think you put in a little bit of flour or even an egg or something, right, to make a consistency.
Okay.
So of course you could also use, you could just do vegetables if you don't eat meat, or you could use beef. Because ground beef is what typically we've done. When our chef Pat has made it, she actually cuts up our tenderloin and makes it with tenderloin. You could use moose, you could use caribou, you could use halibut, any type of protein you could really put in here if you'd like. I don't really know anything about tofu, but maybe you could use tofu.
I don't think many Alaskans know very much about tofu.
I had to Google it the other day to see how long it would last. And then you're going to top it off. Whoops.
Yeah,
More cheese.
I was going to say some of the viewers are saying more cheese, please.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see
Well,
that
there'll be more.
cheese.
There'll be more cheese. We'll put some in that layer. And then you're going to top it with your potatoes. It's a pie, right? So you're making it like a pie. Potatoes on each level. Smush those in. These are potatoes that we had from yesterday. So you can just take your mashed potatoes. If you make a big dinner, big Sunday dinner or something, and then you have potatoes left over, put it in the fridge, and then pull them out and put them together for a shepherd's pie. The thing about casseroles that's nice is it's going to come out, it's going to be nice and hot, it serves a lot of people. You could also keep it in your refrigerator and then just warm up portions. You could also cut it in portions and freeze them, put it in little Tupperware containers, and your kids could pull it out during the day and pop that in the microwave, and they could have a nice, hot, healthy lunch. So that's
Well, also just looking at the ingredients and everything, I mean, you could get your kids in the kitchen with you right now and have them help you chop vegetables and let them, kids love to cook.
Yeah, and any kind of cheese works. And you can get creative. I was going to do like a caprese chicken and do mozzarella and basil and tomato, and so you could do a Mexican one with chicken or beef with corn and beans and like salsa or something, right? So you can get super creative and just put together all kinds of fun casseroles. And then you want to put it in the oven, and since everything is cooked, nothing's necessarily raw going in, 350 for maybe 40 minutes, depending on your oven. Really, you just want everything to heat through and your cheese to get a little bit of brown. Oh, and look! Here's one for us!
Well, what I love what you said too is all the different ingredients you can use. And the reason I love that is because I've opened up the pantry and go, okay, I've got some chilies, I've got some black beans, you're looking, what do you have?
Yeah.
And so, I love that idea that you can use anything that you like.
Yeah.
So, that's very cool.
So you can have different casseroles every night.
Yeah, you could. So, tell them again, right now you guys are open for takeout only.
We're doing takeout, we're doing some delivery. That one kind of just depends. It's really hard to gauge at this point how busy we're going to be, how many people I can have here. Being really cautious with keeping crew working the whole time they're here. I'm doing most of the work at this point. But we can do some deliveries. It's Tuesday through Saturday, 5 to 9. And yeah, pretty much our whole menu. As we are going through product, as we're kind of simplifying things to simplify cost, as well as making sure everything stays fresh, we are having to take off certain items just because we want to make sure we're still giving the best product possible. And with being a lot slower than normal, we can't actually keep everything as fresh. And so we're trying to be really cautious of that. And so every day I'm posting, if the menu changes, I'm reposting it on Facebook and Instagram. Like, this is tonight's menu. And there's just been a little bit of changes here and there. Tonight I'll need to put on something else because we've changed something else. So just being creative as well, just with our product, making sure child is here.
Imagine that. People have their children with them.
Yes, we have homeschool going on in our dining room. And so, yeah.
So, Kristin, where can they find your menu online?
Yes, so Facebook and Instagram are up to date right now. The one on our website isn't completely up to date because it's just too difficult to try to update that every day. And so it's easier for me just to post a new menu. If you just look through our Facebook feed, the most recent one will be what is available.
So tell everybody how the community can best support you right now.
Yeah, just ordering food. If you want to do gift cards, a lot of people have done gift cards, which is great. To have, you can leave them here, and then when we reopen, you've already got your dinner paid for. And so just kind of that cash flow is really crucial because I know there's been a lot of articles, and I don't know if people have read them about restaurants, but to go literally from like you're operating up here, and it dropped so fast and so quickly, and we had a walk-in full of food, and we were prepared since we're open Tuesday through Saturday, and this happened on a Wednesday. We had a whole week's worth of food, and so we've definitely had some loss and just trying to be creative. And so at this point, it is ordering food because I want to make sure we have it available.
So ordering food and or buying gift cards.
Yes.
And Kristin and I made a decision last week that we really wanted to support the local businesses, and so we're going to be buying gift cards from you and using them in our business to give away to some of our clientele. So we're certainly going to support you today. And as you know, we love the Grape Tap, and so just support them in the way that you can. And tell them your phone number again.
376-8466.
8466.
It's 376-VINO.
Vino, yay!
Which unfortunately we can't serve right now.
So thank you everyone for watching today. Know that the Grape Tap is a hyper-local, locally owned by Kristin, and support them if you can. We'll sure appreciate it. We're going to support you.
Thank you so much.
And one more thing, what do you get with your to-go order? There's a little extra.
A bag.
It's right here.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Someone wants to grab it. Show everybody what you get.
Yeah, you get one of our cool recyclable grocery bags.
That's awesome.
Which is important in Wasilla where you have to bring your own bags.
Yes. So it's been fun to have these actually for the to-go orders.
Thank you so much, Kristin.
Thank you guys.
We really appreciate you.